Thank you so much for the time, everyone. And really excited to talk to you today about RydeSafely. What we've got our investors and our current clients and our team excited about is the idea of personalized safety in autonomous software. And I'll go into more detail about what that means. But first, let's clarify that 1.35 million people die every year on the road, right? And this is a problem that needs to be solved. But let's go through currently where autonomy stands right now. There was a boom up to 2018, right? Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was investing in it. It was great. And there was some great work done, I should clarify, across the stack. But then there was high profile accidents, disillusionments, drop in VC funding. And now innovation and investment has started to come back to the industry, but in the form of safety. So everyone's accepting that safety is the last step to autonomy, but there are challenges in this last step. Currently, machine learning models are considered black boxes, difficult to access by traditional rule-based safety measures, and even harder to work out where they break. So what have they learned and where do they break? So what does the industry do? They brute force mileage test. They test massive millions and millions of mileage. If you're Waymo in simulation, you're talking billions. But sadly, this approach isn't working. Uber currently sold their unit, Cruise was acquired, Waymo's dropped 16 billion and it works in California and in Arizona. So something needs to change. And this represented by this study that was done, everyone's quoting it so everyone knows it. In the current safety testing methods, it would take us 100 years to get to where we need to. So when people say autonomy is an inevitability, not unless something changes. This is what we exactly want to do. So our tech and our novel IP gives us an ability to specifically target the neural network and what it's learned specifically versus raw unlabeled data sets. Now, why is this so important? Well, this moves the whole industry from testing of billions of generic mileage to personalized testing specifically to their systems. So we target their specific vulnerabilities and write tests and scenarios specifically only for those. And what does this mean? Well, based on our current pilot studies and also our publicly available data, we're able to speed up the delivery by 10 times, as well as cutting the costs by 10% in delivering these systems. So how does this work? Traditionally, finding faults engineers weeks of time, manual data labeling. But those are just the faults they have in their data sets. What about the ones that haven't appeared yet on the road? As I mentioned, never-ending test mileage. And when do they stop? What is safety? Only based on deciphering policy standards, but they don't give clarity on personalizing it to the specific system. So what do? Our IP auto-detects faults overnight in the client system versus raw data coming from the vehicle. We then auto-generate millions of tailored scenarios based on that data so that you can continue to stress test offline your systems specifically to the vulnerabilities at hand. And then as we continually take in data from multiple clients, we're then able to stress test their entire system versus a cross-industry view. So it takes the perfect balance between personalized and also stress test across industry point of view. Now, normally I'd spend more time on the demo here, but in short, this is classic us detecting the faults in thousands of hours of data. Person crossing the road where they shouldn't, the neural network hasn't learned it, and they detect it as a rider. I won't spend too much longer, sadly, on this slide for now, just to keep us to time. But what we do, we find that fault in the thousands of hours of data, already saving value. We then scenario generate based on that fault. And then we create millions of variants just on that vulnerability to change, let's say, is it a person? No, it's a car now. Now it's a bike. Now it's a different angle. Now it's a different color. Now it's a different time of day. But it's not random simulation. It's targeted to the specific faults we know about. So when this comes to market size, the key thing, everyone knows it's a large market. It's about solving this problem, right? So it's an $86 billion market, but the key thing is we already have existing contracts with clients. I obviously can't mention names, sadly, at this call, especially as it's being recorded, but one's in Singapore and one's in South Korea. And the key thing is we create and capture value. So we save them thousands of engineering hours in finding the faults, years of endless mileage in tackling the faults they don't even know about, and decreasing the high-profile accidents. But we also make money by annual platform licensing fee, but also charging per dollar that we take into our system. So it's a hugely scalable model. The more they use us and make value, the more we take. Our current strategy is to target autonomous tech suppliers, and that's the people we're working with right now to solve the problem of specifically finding the faults and generating scenarios. But as we're able to be deployed, let's say, for example, on vehicle and be able to take in more and more cross-industry data, automotive manufacturers, as well as we're already talking to insurers and policymakers, including the ITU we've already spoken to, in tackling this space to be able to solve this problem of what is safety? What is enough safety between players? How do we define it? There are a number of players in this space, but no one does both, generating new scenarios for testing and personalizing it to the individual model at hand. That's the difference we offer, that combination.
Thomas, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you for the shout. This is the last slide. So fundamentally our team, I bring enterprise sales experience in the automotive space, both at Samsung and Jaguar Land Rover, as well as product management experience. And one of my past startups has been acquired in the auto tech space. And my co-founder is a machine learning and robotics expert specific in anomaly detection. And he's also worked on NASA lunar projects. We're also advised by some policy and insurance players, academics, and also industry experts. But I'll pause here for now. We're currently, as mentioned, we've raised our 100 or so K for our pre-seed. We're looking to raise a few million in the coming months. And we're super excited to get your feedback, talk more, because ITU, life-saving ADAS is crucial. It's just about how do you get it on the road fastest. And that's what we want to help with. So thank you very much.